All right, so we are going to get started. So first of all, welcome everyone to our program for today, Designed to Sell. My name is Emily, and I'm a librarian here at the Plano Public Library, and I will be presenting today's program. I'm assisted by Piper, who will be monitoring the chat for any questions. Please say hi, Piper. So now you're here.
Hello.
All right, thank you. So before we begin, I would like to let you know some ground rules that we have set up for today's program. First, you will be muted during this class and we will have your video blocked. You will only see the instructor's screen. At the top of the screen, you will find the exit full screen option if you need to get to other things on your computer during today's program. You're welcome to ask questions or request the instructor repeat any information at any time during today's program. You should see an icon at the bottom of your screen that says chat. And if you click that chat, it will open a window where you're able to put in your question. Chats can be seen only by library staff. If you would also prefer, you can use the Q&A feature also located at the bottom of your screen to ask questions. But please know any inappropriate Q&A or chat questions or comments will be the cause for your immediate removal from today's class. For all questions, we may answer them directly in the chat or Q&A box, hold the question until a break or the end of the class, or answer the question, at any time if it is pressing. We will be using the instructor's screen to demonstrate and may share additional resources in the chat as well. A recording of today's program will be available in a few days on the library's YouTube channel. If you would like to watch today's program and then practice later with the recording, that is an option. So with that and these ground rules out of the way, let's get started. So before we jump into today's program, I just have one quick disclaimer to give you in that I unfortunately am not a business expert. I am a librarian. The purpose of today's program is to provide general information regarding designing products to sell and how to use market and product research tools to support this goal. This class will not guarantee that you are an expert in designing a selling product. The goal is that you are more informed and have the tools in your arsenal to continue in your product development and entrepreneurial journey. For business expertise, we recommend connecting with our partners, Dallas Score, who will provide mentorship opportunities for those interested in or already in the process of starting their own business. Dallas Score mentors are available at a weekly basis by appointment at the Schimmelpfennig and the Parr libraries. And you can access more information on our website at planolibrary.org or the Dallas Score website at dallas.score.org for more information. This is today's agenda for our program. We will be covering an in-depth look into product development with a sales goal in mind. To do this, we will cover how market and product research plays a role in designing a sellable product, as well as how these tools can improve and determine the overall sales timing for your business. As a reminder, if there are any questions at any time, please use that chat or Q&A feature to ask them. We will attempt to answer your questions as we go along, but we also may answer them at the end or during a break. So to begin with, we're going to talk about market research. Market research is the process of determining the viability of a new service or product through research conducted directly with potential customers. Accurate market research is essential for a business of all sizes to better understand their marketplace, customers, and even their competition. There are two types of market research: primary and secondary. Primary market research works directly with the target market or customers and is divided into two categories: specific and exploratory. Specific research is precise information into issues or opportunities that have already been deemed important. Exploratory is an open-ended approach to information gathering when there is little information about a problem or question to garner more in-depth responses. Methods of primary market research include surveys, direct mail, interviews, and focus groups. Secondary market research utilizes industry data that has already been organized in curated databases, lists, and more. This can include consumer demographics, including average salaries, consumer interest, spending patterns, nationalities, gender, household sizes, and more. In business, time equals money in many cases. If you are spending time designing a product that has no appeal beyond yourself, that can be detrimental to your business as well as your product. Google Trends is an analytical tool created by Google that highlights and tracks trending searches and queries across regions and languages. This is a free tool that tracks search terms with comparison options, interest over time, compared breakdown by subregion, related queries, top terms, and rising terms. So why use this tool for your product development and market research? Well, first, Google Trends helps entrepreneurs locate popular industry topics. You can use supplementary trend reports from platforms like Etsy to research rising trend terms. Etsy, in particular, releases quarterly and annual trends. You can also research a certain time frame and compare the periods of high and low interest. For instance, you can research when interest in holiday gifting hits its all-time highs versus lower periods of interest. And lastly, Google Trends allows for the selection by category, including shopping or marketing and advertising. One tool that the library offers for you to complete your market research is a database called Reference Solutions. Reference Solutions provides information to help you start a business, conduct your market research, find marketing prospects, and more. Reference Solutions we like to call a database within a database. That is, Reference Solutions is a database that contains many different databases and data sets. These include U.S. businesses, U.S. new businesses, U.S. historical businesses, U.S. consumer lifestyles, and U.S. new movers and homeowners. There are also many other databases in this database, but these are the only ones that we are going to focus on for today. So how can this help with the development of your product or market research? Well, this database helps entrepreneurs look up potential industry competitors and develop a competitive analysis, or what some would refer to as a SWOT analysis, an assessment of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Reference Solutions allows for advanced searches by industry codes, geographical location, and will pull up both verified and unverified records of businesses and their management, including names of CEOs, company profits, payroll, and more. It also helps entrepreneurs research their consumer interest. You can narrow down your searches for consumer interest by demographic, geographic, and lifestyle information, household income, gender, household size, mortgage payments, and more. Product research is the process for determining if a design product has the potential for market success. There are several methods for completing your product research. This includes concept testing, a research method that involves asking consumers about your concepts and ideas for a product or service before actually launching it. Price testing, you can conduct a test to determine the ideal price for a good or service. Price testing can provide insight into what you should charge consumers and and can show you how actual customers respond to different pricing. Product testing, which is exactly like it sounds, where you hire a firm or individual to test your product to ensure that it works as intended and how it compares to its competitors. Focus groups, which is a demographically diverse group of people assembled to participate in a guided discussion about a particular product before it has launched, or to provide ongoing feedback on a marketing campaign, series, etc. And lastly, product demos, or a presentation of the value of your product or service to a current or prospective customer. Think of the last time you went to maybe Sam's Club or Costco and they had samples of food or products to help consumers buy into that new product. Or think of fairs with craft stalls where you can look at an example of the product prior to actually purchasing it. This is important because it gives you the best chance of success, a competitive edge, finds any gaps in your current marketing or product development, as well as helps you to develop a higher value good. After you've completed your market and product research, it's time to do your product brainstorming. Product brainstorming is the product process of ideation where the goal is to create a high volume of ideas to generate potential sales for a developed product. This is important because in the long or short reasoning of this presentation, we are going to just focus on narrowing down a focus for your product brainstorming. By researching the terminology of rising categories and interest of marketability of this ahead of time, and then completing a brainstorming period within a time frame of context, you can already have an idea of what your consumers' interests are and the marketplace gaps that may exist. So where do you begin? Well, start with something wild. Problem solve. Search for an answer to a commonplace problem. Many products are created as a solution to something that already exists. So think of ease of use. Think of coming up with a solution to maybe something that you're experiencing, you've heard someone experiencing. And then find your niche. Think of influencers. There are many, many different influencers out there, but all of them have their own individual niche. Maybe it's beauty care, cleaning solutions, book reviews, gardening hacks. Whatever the industry you're going for, think of how you can make yourself unique and stand out within that industry. I'm so sorry. Go back here. So quickly, let's take a look at this quote that on the screen from the co-founder of Domino's Pizza, Tom Monahan. It says, I sometimes compare my brainstorming on paper to the drilling of oil wells. The only way to strike oil is to dig a lot of wells. This quote demonstrates that it may take a few product ideas to generate sales that are consistent. You have to believe in the process and keep trying. Some will work, some need revising. Try writing your ideas out on paper, use sticky notes, a vision board, or make a list online. Find the brainstorming tool that works for you and find a starting place. That is usually the hardest part. Product criteria will depend on the type of product you are designing and developing. It will not be the same for everyone. However, there are still essential design considerations that do apply to most products. These include function, so whether or not the product design works to meet the needs of consumers. That is it working as intended, or not working, or just plain impractical? What are the aesthetics of your product? Will customers want this? Does it look like a finished product? Now, your product may develop and evolve over time. So when your product starts out, it may look a little less finished than it does after a few iterations until it reaches the point of completion. Durability. Does the product hold up? Or does it break down or become damaged easily? Repairability. Does your product have the capability to be repaired to extend its life, or is it a one-time use product? Does it include replacement parts, or can you replace the parts? Is there a warranty? Warranties are especially important if your product is something electronic. Producibility. The relative ease of manufacturing the product, taking into account the quality of the design for reproduction of the product that is testable, sustainable, and affordable. And lastly, reliability. Will this product be reliable? Will it work as intended? These are reasons why consumers go to different consumer reporting options out there, like Consumer Reports and Trustpilot, to see what are the reviews of products and do I want to purchase this? You want to have a product that matches its description and generates trust. So please note that this is not an exhaustive list and that there might be other considerations that pertain to your specific product that are not covered here. This list is intended to be a starting place for those considerations. Next, let's talk about product pricing. Product pricing is the process of ensuring that the product will be profitable. Things to consider when setting the price for your designed product include competitive pricing, profit margin, or the percentage of income that you keep after all expenses are paid, platform cost, and identifying a maximum and minimum price. If you look over to the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the profit margin formula. This is a tool that can aid you in developing an appropriate pricing for your product that is not only reasonable, but also not too high and not too low, and is a price that your customers are willing to pay, but also allows you to make a profit off that product. This is a good place to start when you're determining what to charge for your product. The benefits of combining market and product research are that these are complementary tools and they can influence one another. They help to create a big picture, increase your market and product awareness, and define emerging opportunities, as well as help you to define and determine your sales timing. If you look over to the right-hand side of the screen, you will see the marketing matrix. All of these features, the product, the pricing, the place, and the promotion work together in sync to help you to market your product to your target audience. And when they work perfectly together, you've got a successful product. Our last point of discussion today is sales timing. What is sales timing and why is this important to product development? Sales timing is used in the sales industry colloquially as the know-how of when consumers are about to make a purchase. When you develop a new product, you not only want to think about the product, but the manufacturing timeline for selling. What is the ideal time for a consumer to make a purchase of that product? Is there a time of year that has a higher appeal for that product than others? Think about when you make a purchase for gifts. Do you do it last minute or do you plan well in advance? This is where Google Trends and other such tools are a great resource for allowing you to do more research to understand when there are times of higher interest for consumers and lower interest when they're going to make a purchase for that specific product. There are a few different types of sales timings. The first is seasonality or trend. This is the specific time of year prior to, say, a holiday or weather needs, where people start to buy more and more of a specific product. For example, when you buy a warm jacket for the winter, yes, you could purchase it a few weeks in advance of the winter or even during the winter itself, but by that time, you're going to be cold and you're going to already need that jacket, and your options may be limited because a lot of other people may be buying that coat. You could also purchase it well in advance, maybe even a couple months in advance. So by the time that cold front comes through, you're already well prepared. This means that your sales timing for winter gear might be late fall or even late summer. So before that, say, season comes into play. There are also evergreen products. These are products that are in demand all year round and have constant appeal. There is no true season for an evergreen product, just an ebb and flow of interest. Think about office supplies. There is always a need for office supplies since it is used on a daily basis. This is why it is an evergreen product and it never goes out of demand. There's also marketability. So how can you market your product? This refers to how well you can market your product for sales to get successful sales in return. If your product will market well to get a good return, this is something you want to consider as well as with your sales timing. Why? Because if you have multiple types of products, You don't want them to compete against each other. Right. I'm going to stop here for a moment and see if there are any questions about any of the information we have presented so far. If there are no questions at this time, that is fine. You're welcome to answer them at the end of this class. But that is the end of our presentation for today. And I would like to mention a few other classes that we have coming up. We have a new program, Path to Business Success, which is a business program presented completely in Spanish that is going to be this Saturday, January 18th at the the Harrington Library. We also have our weekly score mentoring, which is available at the Parr Library on Wednesday evenings and the Schimmelpfennig Library on Wednesday evenings. Those do require an appointment in advance. And we have a new series on AI in everyday life, which is completed in 2 parts on this Saturday as well as next Saturday at the Harrington Library, which will go over how AI is influencing every aspect of your life, including your businesses. And our monthly Twos group, which is our Team Up for Entrepreneurial Success Networking group. That is the 4th Tuesday of every month. And it allows you to learn about different business topics as well as network with other business owners and local entrepreneurs. And that is at the Haggard Library from 6:30 to 8. And I did mention a few resources available to you when you are designing your products. Those are Google Trends, as well as the Reference Solutions database. Reference Solutions, again, is a database available through the Plano Public Library. And we also have several other databases that may be of interest for you in your entrepreneurial journey. That includes Scale Entrepreneurship, which explores different business plans, LinkedIn Learning and Udemy, which allow you to watch videos and complete your own guided learning to build your hard and soft skills, and the Plano Public Library YouTube channel, where you can find this video as well as others. And with that, are there any additional questions or anything that's come to mind?
Not seeing anything in the chat right now. I'm not seeing any questions, so I think we're good.
Okay. Well, if that does change, you're more than welcome to always email me, or you can stop at any Plano Public Library, and we're more than happy to assist you. But with that, that does bring us to the end of this informational program. We do appreciate all of you for attending and encourage you to visit the planolibrary.org website in order to look for additional programs related to businesses. So thank you so much, everyone, for attending, and have a wonderful day.